Well, howdy, nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. Yay, a brand new day of metabolizing and doing things, filling the hours, and existing. It is a good thing, and it is good that everybody is existing. Of course, none of us will exist forever, so exist. Be happy and enjoy the time that you are existing now. It is a good thing. We are alive for such a short period of time, and then we're dead forever. So enjoy the time that you have. A very good thing. I'm not actually feeling too philosophical this morning. It's just come across that way. But thumbs up for that. It's good to be alive, and I'm glad to be metabolizing. And my little hamster, he's still alive and metabolizing. My little kitty, she's still alive and metabolizing. So it is just a good thing. And hopefully you are still alive and metabolizing, especially if you're watching this. Thumbs up for that. And of course, YouTube algorithms, thank you for front-loading of videos. Yay. But if you could toss me a like if you like what you hear and see, that'd be very cool. If you could subscribe to the channel if you haven't, that too would be a thumbs up. I really enjoy comments. If you could leave me a comment, definitely a thumbs up on that. I thumbs up each one I do read, and I read them all. I answer as many as my executive dysfunction will allow. Thumbs up. I don't know what device you're watching this on, but there's also a show more, and inside there's like my Patreon, and of course I do want to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons, these beautiful and awesome people. Hokey smokes, I'm laughing at myself and how I just can't speak English. I can, but I'm having issues this morning, of course, but thank you. Each and every one of these beautiful and awesome people. I mean, literally, they are beautiful and awesome. That is just an objective and true fact. If you'd like to become a beautiful and awesome person, well, there are links in the show more as stated. Thumbs up for that. Front loading of YouTube videos over. Yay! But yeah, I've been existing, which is good. I was both upset and kind of not yesterday. My mood is volatile, extremely so. I have to take advantage of when I'm in the proper frame of mind if I'm going to do reactions. So I have to, if I'm in the right mood, quickly get a whole line up and then start reacting and record what I can, get rid of the ones where I just am not feeling it, and go from there. So I was 2 videos in. I'd already had to discard 2. And I was going on to the next. And then my housemate knocks on the door, and he's going to reset the cable modem and just wanted to let me know. I felt irate, but at the same time it was like, he's letting me know something that's happening. I'm irate because I'm interrupted, and it's my mood that's volatile, and I want to work while it's, strike while the iron is hot. But this happened, so it wasn't him. It wasn't his fault, any irritation I felt. So I went, you know what, and I just started talking, and so we were just talking. And we wandered around and we talked about this, that, and the other. We talked about dying light. We talked about life. We talked about just stuff. And then while we were doing that, wandering outside, and, well, he has some very, very nice weed that we had tanked up on while we were talking. And then after we were done talking for a bit, he had to do some chores, and I came up here, and it was very good weed. For an eighth, it cost twice as much as my budget weed ounce cost. So it was very high quality, and I spent time trying to watch videos, but mostly waking up periodically and going, oh, and then having to restart. I never stopped sleeping. I never had any of the issues that I have when I fall asleep because I've eaten gluten products. I've partaken of a very large amount of high quality THC. I've got bad forehead and eyelid anchor. And so for a time, good hour and a half, I tried to watch videos but wasn't really able to. And when I finally pushed through and woke up, no real ill effects that I usually have when I fall asleep, because it wasn't a gluten thing, and there was no hypoxia from falling asleep and not stopping breathing. I felt good. I was able to think and concentrate afterward, which I spent more time just going downstairs and talking and watching videos and such. And then around 6:30, I came back up here and got ready to go out for walkies. I have to put on my support stockings. I technically should put on my support stockings like when I first get in here in the morning, but I've sometimes gotten to the point that I wait until just before I go walkies, and I shouldn't. I don't have horrific swelling in my legs anymore, and I've only had bad swelling in my legs from my knees down, and I've only had that not because of like heart issues, but I've had cellulitis so often and so much and so bad in the past that it burnt out my lymph system in my lower legs, which has been slowly healing. I used to swell up like actual just horrific meat pumpkins, and now I have some swelling. So it has been healing over time, but I really need to put those support stockings on. They come to just below my knee, up over my shins and my calves, down all the way down, and then they don't press on the toes. That part's open, but as support stockings are. And then they just squish with pressure to keep the fluid up and out of your legs. So I really need to use those. But even when I don't, my swelling isn't horrific anymore. Especially now that I've stopped eating like bread products. That seems to have something to do with it too. Yay. Now I've got the thing down here. Well, before I finish off of that, I did get those 2 reactions done, so I've gotten 2 reactions done. I just need to edit and then upload. I just couldn't do it yesterday because I was spending time being sociable and knocked out because I was so stoned with my housemates and such that I just didn't get anything done. I took the day off after those 2 recordings. So I got to get that done, and hopefully my mood's going to be good enough that I can continue going through that list of tabs that I've got saved and get the rest of the reactions done. That would be good. Definitely a good thing on that. And I went walkies and such, and it was a good walkies. It's always nice. I enjoy walking everywhere. I wish I could walk more. I wish walking 6 miles wasn't my limit, because if I walk more than that, it inflames the nerves, and then I get physical anxiety, and it sucks. That part blows. Oh, excuse me. Now, though, what I want to talk about is when I spent a lot of time yesterday talking about what I do with my creative process, and then there were some people that did some talking in comments, and that's very good. Thank you, Confused Owl and 29 and Florimu, for your comments, and I'm going to talk more about that because I learned a lot more especially from Florimu's comments, and how that there's a lot of talk about that type of process I was speaking of. There was mentioned how there's the planters, the planners and the seat of your pantsers. I used to be, is a greater definition of that. There are those people that when they write books, when they actually write the book, there is no secrets to be learned for them. There's nothing left. It is written. These are the type of authors that when they hear another author say, well, my character did this while I was writing it and it caught me by surprise. Because by the time they're actually writing it, it's written. They just have to get it into the finalized form as a manuscript. Everything is pre-planned. It is done when they are actually putting it onto paper. And then there are the types of writers where they just pick up a whole bunch of ideas and then start typing, and where they end up, it's a surprise. Every part of it it's coming up as they go. I've never been able to do the first part. I've always been more of I get a general idea of where I want the story to go, and then I find out where the story and the characters are going to take me. So I have been more of a seat of my pants flyer. Is that the phrase? I've forgotten how that goes. But it's, it's on the fly, on the wing, extemporaneous sort of ideas. But at the same time, I've always been frustrated because I've wanted to tell particular types of stories, so I've tried to push that creativity without letting it stew, and not knowing that I was more of the creative, I'm not unplanned even now, because while I do approach this extremely organically, I also don't just go into it randomly. I pick a direction, I plant a few seeds, and then I give my creativity a push in that direction. Now, where it goes from there, that's the organic part. Because when I said I wanted to come up with a character, it wasn't just, just wild and random. It was, I needed a character that would fit in with this type of setting, come up with a couple parameters, push, and then see where it goes. So it's not completely random. It's not completely seat of my pants, and it's definitely not any sort of I am trying to guide it, because that it works, but it's not as rich as what I come up with by letting it work organically. So yeah, I'm not like David Drake of, if you've ever read any hard science fiction, militaristic science fiction, David Drake with Hammer Slammers. It's more of an 80s and 90s type of writer, but I think he still does writing now. But it's really, really good stuff, but everything of his is pre-done. And then there's the others that go flying. I don't have any examples right off the top of my head because I've forgotten them. But it is, I'm way more onto the flying blind side with parameters now, only as I've learned who I am, what I am, and recovering from the death of my wife and the depression I've suffered my whole life, and then discovering why I've suffered from all these things. I have been letting my creative processes work the way they should have been working my whole life, and that's good. Again, it's not just a wild, let me just see what's going to happen at random. It is guided in a way. Because last night, as I was on walkies, I was thinking about Tenasket Valley. Now, as I've mentioned, Tenasket Valley in the Razor's Edge it's just a valley, and then there's the town of Tenasket, right at the mouth of the valley. I hadn't really done a whole lot of thinking about that, past that there's the transcendent in the round Tenasket, where if you watch the moon, full moon, you're going to change. Hadn't done much thinking past that until realizing, this valley isn't just a tiny thing. It's one of those, it's much, much bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. If you drive around it without going inside of it, it's only like 15 miles this direction, couple miles this way, and then 15 miles back this direction, and you've driven around the valley. It's not a big thing. But on the inside, you can go thousands of miles deep into it, and it's wild, and you're nowhere near the ending of this place. Now, I have to chew on this stuff to see if these things taste right, if they have the right mouthfeel, if it tastes sour and bitter, if it's the wrong thing, back up and leave it alone. This feels right. And so last night, I was thinking further on that, and it's like, you know what? I got the feeling that right there, especially in the town at Tenasket, there's probably a deeper flow going on of energies here, because especially on the Razor's Edge on the inside, energy can flow like a fluid dynamics. And what felt right was that during the daylight hours, there is a gentle breeze of energy flowing inward and down deep into the valley during the entire time that the sun is up. If you have a strong sense of sight, you can actually feel it rushing past and over you. During sunrise and sunset, the energy and the air becomes still and yet not. It's not flowing, but it's still turbulent. But once the sun is down, the flow of energy up and out of this valley, well, it was a mild breeze flowing in. It is a wind that's flowing outward. And it's not the same energy that it was when it was coming in. It's different. Now, how different? I'm not sure yet. I gotta keep chewing on this to see what it tastes like. But so far, the taste is right. The mouthfeel is right. I gotta see where this goes. And I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments, my community tab. Going to go through and thank however many people have left me comments. It's not much anymore, but anything more than 0 is awesome. Thank you very much. And if I mispronounce a username, and I probably will, no misrespect. No disrespect is intended. I'm an American English speaker, and even though I count American Sign Language, well, you've already seen how my memory works in this video and in others if you've seen more than one. So I do my best. And now that I've gotten gluten out of my diet, and hopefully I'll keep it out of my diet, or at least keep it to a minimum, I should be having much less brain fog than I usually have. I'm still going to be foggy. Life is life. We have Noah Roberts, thumbs up and thank you. And then RAIGARMU with the 2 dots over it, umlautish, and then LLERSON, thumbs up and thank you. Confused Owl 29, thumbs up and thank you very much. Good to see you in the comments. Matt LB21, thumbs up, thank you very, very much. We have Dusty McTits, thumbs up, thank you very much for the comment. We have Grishimp, GRIESCHIMP, thumbs up and thank you. Flora Mute, thank you so very much, and thank you for your comments. You help a lot, very, very much. It is good. We have Ben B, thumbs up and thank you. Conspo Lopez, always good to see you in the comments, and very good on the booster, thumbs up. I gotta get mine still. There is Tron with 3 N's, 2020, and thumbs up very, very much. Each and every one of you. It is greatly appreciated. Definitely cool. You get me out of my head and into the world and dealing with real people, if only in text and if only for a short while, but that's awesome. Thank you. And of course, with my hands in the air, don't know what device you're watching this on, and so don't even know if you actually can see the text description in the show more. But if you can, there are links to all of my various videos in it, channels, as well as links to my Twitter, my Facebook, and again, my Patreon. And again, I would like to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons, these beautiful and very awesome people. Literally beautiful and awesome. If it weren't for these people, I would not be able to keep my pets alive. I would not be able to keep me underneath a roof. And while I'm still sinking underneath the waves, I am sinking much, much slower with the help of these people. Thank you so very much. And if you'd like to help me out without becoming a patron, I do have a PayPal link, then those links down below. And if you'd like to help me out without sending any money at all, I do have an Amazon wish list link with stuff like cat food on it for my kitty. Thumbs up and thank you. And of course, excuse me, if you cannot or do not donate, I take all good wishes and I deposit them in the bank of my heart. I remembered what I was going to say. I had forgotten for a moment. So thank you very, very much. And if you can toss me a like, I appreciate all the positive validation I get from my existence. Plus, hit the notification bell on the subscription button. That would be very cool, and thank you. See, if you watch all the way through this instead of cutting off and not watching it, if you're one of the very few, you get to see all the weird and wild stuff that makes it slightly different from all the others. What a bonus, baby. So I've got stuff I gotta do today. I want to keep working on back here. I did some stuff because I didn't want it to be just as dull, and also because I was like recording reactions. So yay! I just have to continue working on it, and I'm going to. So I've got things I gotta get done. Yay! And I'm sure that there are things that you would like to get done. So hopefully you can get them done as well. And of course, with the covfefe bug still raging around the world, please, if you do not have to go out amongst the unmasked, unvaxxed plague rats, please don't. And if you do try to maintain your social distancing, please wear a mask, wash your hands off, and try not to touch your face. Get the vaccine if you can. Get the booster if you can. Hokey smokes. Hokey smokes. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and, well, quite frankly, I think that is, well, I was going to say like a knock on wood, but what the hell would that even mean?